Hi, for my Internet of Things laboratory subject, this is experiment 2. It is entitled Packet Tracer Connecting Devices to Build IoT. So to start on the experiment, we need to download this given PKA file. So I already downloaded it, and here is the experiment. So it is entitled Packet Tracer Connecting Devices to Build IoT. Its objective is to get familiar with using Packet Tracer 7.1 and its IoT connections. Background or scenario: in this activity, you will build a connected solar-based power supply. The sun charges the solar panel, which sends electricity to the battery for power storage and distribution. A power meter connected between them reads and displays the amount of power being captured by the solar panel. Because all devices are connected with its IoT capabilities, they register themselves with a registration server, allowing a user to monitor the entire system from a web browser or a running PC. Record resources are Packet Tracer 7.1. It is advised that you use this version of the Packet Tracer or version 7.2.1 because the newer versions does not have the same interface than the older one, so you might be getting a problem when you use the newer version. So it is recommended that you use Packet Tracer 7.1 or 7.2.1. So moving on, part 1: adding and connecting the necessary devices. You will start with 4 LEDs here, a PC, a switch, and a server. Add the following device by locating and dragging them to the Packet Tracer workspace. So it is already done. So there are some notes here. Light emitting diodes or LEDs are electronic components used to emit light. LEDs are widely used in electronics as a form of user interaction. So a PT solar device. A PT solar panel device can be found under End Devices Power Grid. Also a PT battery device and a PT power meter device. So all of those you can get here. End Device Power Grid. This is the solar panel. Let's add that. The battery and the power meter. Now, using IoT custom cables, connect the solar panel and the battery to the power meter according to the table below. The IoT custom cable, this is the cable that we're going to use, can be found under connections. This is connections icon. Let's find for IoT custom cable, this one. It says here that at the solar panel, we'll select port D0 and connect it to the power meter port D0. Next, the battery. Same IoT custom table is at port D0 connected to D1 of the power meter port. So next, using IoT custom cables, connect the LEDs to the battery according to the table below. Again, IoT custom cable is used under connections. So LED 1 is to be connected to the battery port D1, like that. LED 2, D2, LED 3, D3, LED 4, D4. There are just some notes here. Next step, using an Ethernet straight through cable, connect the Ethernet port of the solar power, battery, and power meter, these three, to the switch here according to the table below. Try this to ensure they communicate. This is to ensure they can communicate with the server that is connected to the switch. And the wire that we're going to use is copper straight through cable. So let's refer to the table. Solar panel, gigabit Ethernet, connect to switch port 0/3, and the power meter, again copper straight through, fast Ethernet to 0/4, and lastly the battery is to fast Ethernet 0/5. So now we're done with the connections. Let's head on to the next part 2, configuring the device. So here we need, now that the devices are completely cabled, they must be configured. Since the system relies on an IP network, the devices must be configured with the correct IP information. Since the server is configured to also act as DHCP server, the IoT devices should be configured as DHCP clients in order to learn IP information automatically. So to do that, we're going to change the solar panel, power meter, and batteries IP configuration and make it DHCP. So to do that, click on the solar panel, and here at the config tab, we're going to go to gigabit Ethernet and just select DHCP, and do that for the power meter and the battery also. Fast Ethernet DHCP for the battery, Fast Ethernet DHCP. Now, before next step, before the device can operate properly, they must register to the server. So configure the devices with the server's IP address to allow them to find and communicate to the server. So in order to do that, we need to click on the solar panel, and in the config tab, here is the settings. So at the bottom, for the IoT server, we need to select remote server and change the server address to this, username to admin and password admin. So let's do that. Admin, and click on, don't forget to click on connect. It is connecting, and it's already connected, and we just need to repeat that for the power meter and battery. So again, settings, remote server. We're making the server address uniform so it can be connected all at once in one server using the PC, and we can monitor it using the PC. So again, remote server with the same server address and the same username and password. Again, connecting, and done. So part 3, using the system. Now that all the devices are connected, notice how the solar panel charges the battery. Notice how the LEDs draw power from the battery for operation. And notice how the LEDs go dark if the battery has no charge. So as we can observe here, the solar panel is at 0 watts and the power meter is at 0. So it's off, right? So let's just wait. The solar panel had received power and it lights up, and then no power and receiving power meter, and see the LEDs light up. So now we need to click on PC to check if we can navigate all the devices using the server that we assigned to the devices earlier. So to do that, we need to click on the PC, desktop, web browser, and we need to type the server address that we assigned earlier, and the username and password, admin. And as you can observe, we can also view the status of the IoT devices here. So this is for the solar panel, the power meter, and the battery. So as you can observe, at 0 watts, 1 watt, 0 watt per hour, these are the power meter that the power meter can read from the solar panel. And as you can observe, when this value goes higher, this goes higher too, and the battery of course has a charge, so the LEDs will light up accordingly. And I think that's it for experiment 2, entitled Packet Tracer Connecting Devices to Build IoT.